Hello everyone, I'm Aren and welcome back to Genshin Impact. We are still in prison, as you can tell. We made some progress, at least on the mystery of the fortress, but we still haven't really figured out what's up with the warden. Like, what is his whole deal? Last time he didn't really kidnap, but he kept Lynette as kind of a sorta hostage for Lynette to apparently get a call to the Nave to have a meeting with him. Let's just find out what's going on. Also, Fremine almost died, because apparently the ocean is starting to get polluted with primordial water. Let's just find out what is the warden's plan. With that said, thank you so much for coming by, and let's get into it. Yeah, here we are. Let's see if you actually got some tea for us, warden. Whether literally or metaphorically.
Excuse me?
Also, Sigewin showed kind of a dark side to her. She still cares for the people of the fortress. She just kind of has a violent side, you know, uses her mind-reading powers for good? Question mark.
I take it Mr. Fremine's condition has stabilized?
Of course! I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Sigewin?
I wanted to check up on Miss Cloran. How are you feeling?
Mostly fine,
good point.
I think.
She was also in there.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now, then.
No, we never get to talk with her. She's always in the screen for like
want to
a
explain
minute or
yourself,
two
Risley?
at most. Also, yeah, what
course.
the heck happened?
But I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten?
Whatever. Please enlighten us as much as you'd like.
Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
What is this? This is not the end of the act, right? Because we haven't done much. No, it isn't. Yeah. Fortunately, I got spoiled on something because people, for some reason, just love uploading just a couple hours after the version comes out, you know, videos with the thumbnail showing what's happening. So, yeah. I try to avoid the context as much as possible, but I do know something has to happen before this quest ends. So, yeah.
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lenny's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave.
Okay.
As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
Makes sense. That's why he was letting us cook all that time.
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
They came here with ulterior motives.
Pretty cool.
I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals.
So why didn't you stop them?
Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance.
I thought so too.
Lenny
honestly.
suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
So why did you stop them now?
So you were hoping Lenny's group would just do your work for you.
You make it sound like
Kinda.
that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremine has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the Fortress of Meropide is on the rise. The Forbidden Zone has always been Lenny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Right. So he's just doing his job, right? He's just protecting the fortress. Why did he have to play the bad guy then last time?
Are the rumors true?
What
That
is
you're
wrong with
also
him?
a former criminal?
Now, why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself?
Yeah, I was
Another
gonna
form
say.
of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates. That's all.
Oh, right. Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Cloran down here?
Me, of course.
Well, yeah.
I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work.
Paid? What?
As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving
Okay.
Fremine was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already.
Or, you know, if we had gone down there, because we can also type. I don't get that. I don't get that part. Like, the only excuse that I guess I could understand is that the traveler can't actually dive and it's just gameplay, but you gotta marry those in a way, right? Like, they usually do. That I didn't like so much, but I guess it serves the story. So the Forbidden Zone really exists. What's inside of it?
That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts.
True. Okay.
All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance.
Sure.
That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremine.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
Is it gonna be worth it? That's my question, because if I see the answer, my question is, why was it so big of a deal to hide this then?
Yeah, Paimon really wants to know.
I mean, he's right, we didn't really come for that.
Even if the truth may not be pleasant?
Oh, okay, now I'm interested.
Follow me.
If anything, that makes it more interesting for me. No, I don't know, is it like actually bad people maybe? I don't know. Let's just see. Honestly, originally I thought the Forbidden Zone was the pipe that Child and the others were hiding in.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh.
I'm not
You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
not really surprised that there are hidden passageways
It
at
seems
this
you've
point.
forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meropide is.
Exactly. I will know. I almost went insane yesterday trying to figure out my way up and down it. Okay, here we go.
Stand on the central plate.
Wait,
Oh.
is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa!
What the heck? Once everyone has taken their positions on circle plate, it begins to slowly move downwards. Slowly? Huh. Again, I keep thinking that it's loading a cutscene when it takes its time.
So,
But no, a new area,
This
yeah.
is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special.
And that is...
What a huge door!
Okay, it's probably what's behind it, right?
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally
Whoa.
speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden Zone. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Not necessarily.
Well, Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping anything from them.
Okay, see now this doesn't make any sense. The Traveler doesn't trust the Fatui, he's like reluctantly working with them, but now he's like, yeah, I will tell them. Whatever, keep it moving.
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding
right.
whether or not to tell them.
Sure. Oh, is the Gnosis here, maybe? I don't know. Does it have to do with the Oratrice? No, I don't know. I'm just throwing things because I don't really know.
Huh. So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Ooh,
Whoa.
purple.
They all just went up one by one.
What's that in the middle of the
Go
room?
on, have a look.
What do we have down there? I couldn't tell, really. The room is really quite empty with nothing in here, which is quite strange on its own. There's also the device smack dab in the middle of the room, which looks like some kind of massive sluice gate? What the heck is a sluice gate?
I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meropide.
Wait,
Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it.
you don't
It would
know?
also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind it. The readings on that
Sure.
dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place.
Oh,
But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position,
oh,
likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimally.
what? Could it be the primordial sea or something?
Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading could be tracking?
Water pressure?
Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well.
Oh,
Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something less ordinary. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely.
right.
We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all.
But the pressure of the primordial sea, maybe? Of concentration of the primordial sea? Something
Later
like that?
on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea.
There we go.
I began to make a few preparations based on that hypothesis.
Yeah. This guy is smart. I'll give him that.
Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
Called it.
The concentration of primordial seawater? But we're already under the sea!
I'm on...
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater.
Yep.
Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising.
Primordial seawater is continually leaking into the sea.
Yes, that's very likely.
Yikes.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak.
Well, we found one of the exits, right?
Oh. Oh!
Seems like you figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us.
So who built this place then? I need to go back when I'm editing because I haven't edited the previous episodes of this version. So I don't know if Novelette mentioned it, but could Conry be involved on that? I don't know. Let's wait.
The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us.
Yep.
If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all.
And if the primordial sea is leaking through, if this gate falls, all of Fontaine will fall with it.
You know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
Yes, sir.
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meropide be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea? Who built this place anyway?
Thank you, Paimon.
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring.
Really?
It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meropide in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to live here.
Okay, that's not really boring at all. I love ancient architecture. Could the original Hydro Archon have built it, maybe?
When the previous Hydro Archon, Egeria, ruled the land,
Egeria.
all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled.
We're finally getting into
it. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold. Some of them began to repent and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do.
There you go.
The Hydro Archon took pity on them and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps, and over the years helped it to grow. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontainian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Yeah.
Indeed.
That's not boring at all.
It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then everyone will be dissolved into the sea.
Okay. How about we build another gate on top of that one? Do you believe in prophecies?
To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate.
Right.
Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time, the third.
Gotcha. So as the Duke of Meropide, just what do you plan to do about
Let's
it?
go somewhere else. I want to show you something.
Cool.
This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiments have...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone.
Huh? Lorvine and Jurier?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
Yeah. Okay.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
Well, yeah, you guys. He's the chief. He can do it.
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
What?
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin.
It sounds familiar. Ed who? I'm gonna say Ed who because I can't remember.
He's the one who blew the whole institute sky high.
Oh,
Everyone knew he was a bit crooked in the head.
I remember
But
hearing
you're not
about
local, so I guess it's possible for you not to have heard of him.
Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters. As his
Archaeum.
assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them as well. I hired him to be my technical consultant.
Cool.
You want to blow up the Fortress of Meropide?
Ah, what a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Yeah, I don't think that's what they're
Guys, focus!
actually planning.
Focus!
The boys just want to blow it all up.
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Oh, gotcha.
Ooh, are they together?
Is that really necessary, Paimon?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship with this man.
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
I'm so confused.
Please, forget I said anything.
Yeah. Alright then, keep your secrets.
Follow me.
I guess. Whatever.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your
Ooh.
constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
That's just Paimon. She does have a childlike wonder.
But Paimon really
Very
makes
nice.
everything super
another cool transition. Is this just a normal room?
Well, let's spice it up a bit.
What?
And here you go.
Ooh. What the heck? This is...
What a huge
Whoa!
This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
What?
How much do you know about Fontainian history?
Are they gonna turn the fortress into a boat? Or not, not turn it into a boat, but like make a new fortress and make it into a boat so once the ocean erupts, they can go safe? Not much,
Not
yeah.
much at all.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria.
Hmm.
To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty.
The Murrin? Oh,
According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
somehow a ship named Fortuna sounds familiar. Is that a reference to anything? Or have we heard something similar previously in the game?
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships.
Yep.
People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've
Probably
already
what they're
seen, I have
doing.
a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try.
That is so cool.
So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were
Cool.
you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster.
I will say, he will be a cool captain for a ship. This is a plan for the ages. Can you share your plan with
For
everyone?
the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe.
Out of fear.
As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call.
I mean, but is it any better to hide it
All right,
from
that's
them?
enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions?
Well, yeah, what are these? Is this some kind of fuel? Some mineral, some crystals that they're using to fuel the ship?
Seems like you're good. Come on, I'll take you back.
Okay.
I'll leave you here for now.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, thank you so much.
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as well.
Right. It means that my actions now will decide the next step Lini's group takes. In other words, if I want to tell Lini the truth, I must make him understand that we cannot afford excessive conflict right now.
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Can we trust them to not do that? They seem pretty independent. Like, they will definitely, they have to report to the Knave, right? I don't think they are exempt from that, so I don't know.
Great.
We'll be careful.
I look forward to what happens next.
Thank you. Learn the history and secrets of the Fortress of Meropide. I think we did it, yeah. Okay, Calamin's thread, return to the infirmary, alright. So are we just gonna report everything to them, or are we gonna be a little more strategic about it? Something tells me Paimon might just spill the beans immediately.
We're back!
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
How can you be so much like Risley, always drinking tea?
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it, I just remembered something now.
Rightly should adopt them,
While I
honestly.
was sedated, I could still barely hear 2 people talking next to me. They were discussing everything, from the leaves to the water and even the teacups themselves.
Must have been Risley and Sishwin.
Yeah, I heard 1 male voice and 1 female, so it should have been the 2 of them. They really were just talking about brewing tea.
I really can't make sense of this place.
So, Traveler,
Very
Paimon,
wild, yeah.
were you able to learn anything from Risley?
Yeah, he explained everything.
Oh, yep, here we go, Paimon, alright.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations?
Lini sounds a lot more like his old self, feeling better now. Yeah, you sound like you have recovered.
Yeah, I took the time to rest, so I'm feeling a lot more relaxed now.
Nobody else is
Cool.
around, and Miss Sijwin is also busy with something or other. So let's just talk here.
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, the long-lost primordial sea is probably very close to the Fortress of Meropide.
Okay.
Ooh, he's good. He got that right on the first try.
Well, not close, it's right underneath it.
That's our Linny.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. Why? I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master Child for him. What's more, the Fortress of Meropide is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervulet. Risley is basically the king of a no-man's land.
Pretty much.
As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the 2 factions are pitted against each other, Risley will be free to move between the parties of interest.
Interesting. Does he want to make his own nation or something? Like, fully independent from Fontaine?
If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself.
Oh yeah.
It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but I just can't think of what it could be.
Then his grasp of the big picture is amazing. Yeah, I agree.
You're super smart.
Thanks so much. Then finally, there's the last question. If
All right.
Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. He has a bargaining chip, and it could be important enough for Father to deal with him directly.
But what does he want from the Knave? Does he want to offer her the ship as a solution for the Primordial Sea and then make an alliance?
I don't have
I don't
enough
know.
information, so I have no idea what his chip might be. But let me guess. You have the last piece of the puzzle.
Pretty much, yep. There's some deliberation, you share the information you just learned with Lini and company. While sharing what you saw, you emphasize that now is not the time for disputes, and it's very important that they go. Okay.
I can't believe it.
Sure.
The
All right.
sea will engulf everyone. Just like the prophecy said.
I feel like it's pretty much confirmed at this
Could
point.
Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis?
That's what I'm thinking.
If you
Yeah.
remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis. But how could Risley have known that?
Oh, he's got some intel. That's what we found out.
Or perhaps he didn't know and just wanted to bring Father over to his side, which could be why he said he just wanted to negotiate.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our father. No matter what, we're on your side. The two of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for you. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time. Though you may not
Really?
share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically see you as family now.
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Linny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't think you were going to do it.
I mean, I had my doubts if I should do it, to be honest.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
Don't mention it. We can work together again if
Given your
necessary.
strength, you might not need our help at all. But if you are ever in danger, we will try our best to protect you.
Aw, the sound of that makes Paimon feel all warm and safe inside.
Oh, what was that?
Paimon's hungry.
Sounds about right.
Oh, you've done so much already. Go get some food.
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time.
Yep, thanks gamers. Alright, let's go to the cafeteria. I wonder, because the more I hear it, the more the name doesn't really sound like he's a bad guy. Which is weird, because the game seems to still wanna...
It's time for dinner.
You know.
Welfare meals now being served in the coupon cafeteria.
I forgot they did that, yeah. The game still seems to want to paint her in the bad guy picture, so... I don't know.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well. Traveler and Paimon, over here.
Oh, what's up? Can we get
Are
the
you
good
here
meal
for dinner
again?
too, Miss Sijwin? And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Cloran's dinner as well.
Oh.
Huh. You're right. She's actually sitting in the fortress cafeteria.
Yeah, she is. You didn't prepare it with the meat that you make, right?
What would you like to eat?
We can choose?
Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
I'll have the tastiest stuff you have to offer. I'll have the biggest portion you have to offer. I mean, we'll still get food. Well, no, let's just enjoy it. The biggest portion.
Don't forget Paimon. No
Yeah.
problem. Just leave it to me.
But I guess biggest portion doesn't necessarily mean better quality. Yeah, anyway. Dishes before you're bursting. It's a little strange. He says that they're very nutritious. It tastes very terrible.
So delicious.
Free dinners are absolutely
Is
the
this
best.
how it feels to be freeloaders? Wait a second. We did do plenty of work after all.
We have, yeah.
Feeling full yet? How's the food? Delicious.
Says the milk. I mean, everything was super delicious.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see, the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved, which suggests that you're feeling quite relaxed at the moment. Sijwin, do you
I mean,
do
after
this to
everything.
help your patients or to better understand human beings? A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good care of you. You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act like an older sister. Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear. Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said that you were protecting Linny and his siblings as well. Oh, that.
Yeah.
I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried after hearing that something was wrong with the water. Thankfully,
Right.
Clorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Clorand left, to make sure that Linny wouldn't impulsively chase after his brother. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Clorand had returned. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any real danger.
You were all super considerate
Yeah,
and
what
really
was that
thought
about?
everything through.
Still don't understand. There was that whole conflict, but it got resolved pretty. The resolution was actually pretty chill, so.
It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been His Grace's style for as long as he's been the leader. Oh.
Sure.
I really wish Monsieur Nervula would come down here more often too. I feel like he'd like it here, with all the darkness and chaos.
I don't know if he would. That doesn't make sense at all. It's hard to imagine Nervula outside of his office,
Get
true.
a good night's rest, you two. You both worked very hard.
Thanks. Alright, we're back.
So much has happened. Paimon just feels absolutely exhausted now that she's finally relaxed.
I'm kinda tired too. And it's noon, but I've just been recording this past few days, so. Oh man.
Paimon's super sleepy. Are you sleepy too?
Yeah, I'm getting there. Why she laying down like that? He's in A pose and everything. He really immediately fell asleep.
Delicious. Paimon wants seconds for free.
Alright. Good night. Ooh, another dream?
Out of my way! Get out of my way!
Oh.
What happened? Why is everyone running?
No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
Oh, freak.
Who's yelling? Paimon still wants to sleep.
What's that sound? Come on, wake up. We need to go out and see what's going on. Also, keep forgetting Child is, not from Fontaine, so he should be fine. I mentioned that last time, but I just had to remind myself. So yeah, what's going on?
What happened?
Whoa.
Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey, what?
The frick?
What's wrong with these people? They won't even talk to us.
They're here! There you are!
They're here? What?
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and
What?
Lamarone, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. His Grace is telling everyone to evacuate and get out of here.
Did the door burst?
Lafaroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out once you do a head count that 1 or 2 people are missing.
Right. Why are we stopping to discuss that?
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly my idea?
Hey, shut up!
It's not important
Okay,
right now.
whatever. The point is, you should come with us.
You said His Grace said to evacuate
Yeah, he said
outwards.
to get as far away as possible, upwards and outwards.
What? That means whatever happened must have happened down below. Isn't the cave at the very bottom? Yeah.
It can't be that thing.
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you going?
Just evacuate,
We
guys.
have to go find the Duke. You two just go and get out. Go on without us.
Yup.
Hey, hey! Be
The heck?
careful!
Attention, please evacuate
Whoa, cool.
upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
Dude, did the Fatui do something? Because we told them about it? Oh, Risley, how you doing? Where are you? Whoa. Ooh, cutscene. Let's go. Corin, hello.
They're here.
Yep.
Just like I said.
What happened?
Shoot.
You're just in time.
We should get out of here.
Be ready to run.
Yeah, exactly. Whoa! Oh, that's dope. This whole area seems very Arcane inspired. What are you doing, dude? Shouldn't you be getting out of there? Yeah, get out of there, dude. Does he have a shield? Oh. Oh. I don't think that will hold for long, but cool. Yeah, exactly. Shoot. Let's get out of here. I mean, we'll be fine, but you should really run, dude.
3, 2, 1.
Oh. No, can you freeze it again, dude? Oh my gosh. Whoa. Nice.
This won't hold it for long.
That was
Find
awesome.
Nuvilet. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Yeah, we gotta do that.
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense.
Are you just gonna keep freezing it?
The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Oh, they're cool. They are so cool.
Nuvilet, why are you here?
We're up.
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately.
Ooh.
Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her.
Sure. Okay, you can explain anything else to me later.
Will do. You have my sincerest gratitude.
That's pretty sudden, but alright. Oh, they're Vtubers on the other side? Yeah.
Look, there are a ton of Vtubers and Palais Mermonia people over there. The knave is probably here already. We need to hurry.
Are you two the Traveler and Paimon? Monsieur Nervalet has left instructions. Please follow me.
The little jump she did.
Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most appreciated if you could protect Lady Farina to the best of your abilities.
I'll do my best. Here we are. Oh, poor Farina. She's so happy to see us.
So you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Yes, ma'am.
Of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely and unbecoming of my station.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the knave, one of the 11 Fatui harbingers.
You still have the X eyes. Still don't trust you. So this is the knave, the head of the House of the Heart and the Lini siblings' father. He certainly does not seem easy to deal with. The Lini siblings? That's such a weird way to put it. Greetings. Pleasure to meet you two.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here, why don't you and Paimon have a taste?
Sure. Seems friendly enough, but that can be all there is to her. The knave is a force to be reckoned with. I should be very cautious around her.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
Pretty good, quite tasty, and I think Paimon agrees too.
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and I.
You talk with Child? Else you have no reason to have said something like that, yeah.
I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
I have faith in his abilities.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked certainly pretty impressive, yeah.
Aren looks quite nervous. There must be some kind of bad blood between her and the knave.
Oh,
you think?
So you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Udex Nuvilet right in front of you.
Yep.
Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. I must express my admiration for Monsieur Nuvilet.
It wasn't very honorable, I'm gonna be honest. He just jumped them. I managed to find a few leads on his whereabouts.
Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
But I
sure?
thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know, a long time has passed since Child disappeared.
Couple days.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Child is still alive.
Do we know for sure?
Oh, and just how do you know that?
Because of the visions we've had?
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Meropide.
Should we be saying this, Paimon?
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Well...
Paimon's statement just left us wide open.
The Fortress of
Paimon is
Meropide
just
lies
talking
deep
too much.
beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it.
Yeah.
Do you have any proof that he surfaced safely?
That we do not, yeah. But there was no evidence that he'd just been injured or killed.
That is good news, at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Since he was unfortunately unavailable, I picked it up on his behalf. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently admiring the scenery on the streets in front of the opera house. Is it something like that?
I can't remember. We did do a quest where he talked about his family, but I can't remember if he sent a letter. He's turning up the pressure. I'm not sure if I'll be able to convince her, but I can at least try to distract her from Furina. That sounds good to me. Sure.
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written or how it's worded.
Sure.
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
Oh gosh. Is the primordial sea coming out?
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come, Miss Furina.
Huh?
Oh.
I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
I think we have. Oh. Another cutscene. Sup, Nubilet? You have hydro powers,
My
right?
thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Will you? Oh, but he isn't... He's something above, right? So probably
sure
he's
you don't
fine.
need a hand?
Quite sure.
Oh.
Wow. So,
Right.
what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Sure. Is he gonna do his E? Or his charged attack? Just shoot Hydro? Or not? Okay. Oh, never mind. There we go. Did you make sure that they left? Nice.
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled and the waters burst forth.
Yep.
But it is not this day. This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race.
Yeah.
A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe.
Whoa. Does he have to just hold it there?
The sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
What? The people of Fontaine will pay for their sins by getting drowned in the ocean, right? The primordial sea. Yeah, I think that's fair.
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
You know, I'm just saying, I don't think millions should suffer. I forgot what the actual phrase is, but yeah, that's basically what Nubilet said.
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
For now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
What was the bet?
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to
makes
confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
Quick question. How are they gonna bring all the prisoners back?
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
I guess a lot of the people in the fortress don't really like the surface anymore. So they will just come down on
He
their
already
own.
has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal codices.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal codices.
That was obviously a joke. Anyway,
So-
you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
Why didn't Novelette warn us about Risley? They're just buddies. They're just a couple pals here. So.
No need to
I
stay
don't know.
here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
We're kind of in the thick of it, actually. Oh man, is he gonna come back? Or who knows?
I must say, we've spent long enough playing house. Miss Farina.
Ooh.
As the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression, was I wrong? And you haven't a clue?
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives.
Ooh.
Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontainian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's acceptable?
He's kind of spitting though.
The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Hearth have devoted everything to saving their homeland. But you...
Yeah.
It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
Dang.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures.
This is the first time I hear Farina actually stand her ground. In a non-performative way, I guess.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
She has a point.
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time.
Has she?
Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me.
Maybe you could share your ways.
Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high!
Farina's not acting like her usual self. She's actually seriously refuting the knave's accusations. She means what she says, she's not putting on a front.
Then I ask you, Miss Farina,
But
just
what is
have
she
you been
doing?
working on?
Yeah.
Where can we see it, and what is it doing to help?
So was that a lie, or she can really not tell us? She was so full of conviction and confidence just now, but now she's deflated like a puffed balloon.
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time. It is just that beings like yourselves are unable to perceive them as of yet.
She is speaking out of her,
I see.
At least
As a
that's how it
god,
feels.
the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the impending disaster?
Good question.
An emergency response plan?
Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not even prepared one of those?
The emergency response plan is also strictly confidential.
Farina, what is your deal?
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardin? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The Oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
Ooh. Is it?
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, Someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Farina.
Ooh.
I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Nouvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina, I suppose you must have ordered him away to take care of some troublesome business.
Yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side.
She does. She does. I think I know where she's going with this.
Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please, help yourselves, everyone.
Thanks. Certain topics I can speak about. I don't even know what Nouvillette's task was. If I had to guess, he probably went down to deal with the surging primordial sea. But can he really deal with all that by himself? Oh, he definitely can. And is Farina being truthful or not?
Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise.
Thanks.
You too,
yes.
Paimon.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer.
Okay. I couldn't even read that mentally.
Oh, Paimon's super full. That cake was great.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yes, and we must thank the knave for bringing these over as well.
Well, you're back to your cheery old self, Farina.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table. And I was merely catering to Miss Farina's tastes, seeking a chance to chat over tea.
Sure.
It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so I must take my leave now.
Very well. We'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I must be on my way.
Of course.
Paimon's coming too!
Interesting. Can we talk with her a little?
The tea party turned out to be even more difficult than I'd imagined.
Well, yeah.
Why are you looking at me like that? Is something the matter? If there's nothing urgent, then I shall be retiring for now.
Retiring? What? What's up, Harlequino?
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
Sounds about right.
That's what Paimon thought.
What do you want to say?
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude.
You're welcome. Didn't think this is what you wanted to talk about. I mean, that's probably just, cordiality for being
Do I look
their
like
father.
An irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is very important to me. You should know that I care deeply about my children.
Was there nothing else you wanted to say?
That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings.
Really?
I know you just returned from the Fortress of Meropide. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust their judgment and abilities.
They will report to you.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them, especially Linny.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with.
He is tricky.
It's unfortunate that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Farina?
Don't really like to partake on that, but I guess we will.
You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me to share my perspective with you.
Go ahead.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the Fortress of Meropide.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused?
I don't think he does.
Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
I'd say always, more than often, to be honest.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you!
What? What is she doing? What is this situation? Also, this outfit goes hard.
You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
If she becomes playable, you know, that's gotta be an outfit, right?
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter.
Right.
This is so easy, it's actually making me a bit suspicious. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, the bait is meant to be sacrificed. It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Archon. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Ooh, that I didn't know.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me. I'm begging you, please.
Man, I feel bad for her.
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina dares not mention this incident to anyone.
I assume that's what she's hiding.
Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake.
Man, what the heck?
There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her.
Anyway.
I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article.
Right.
I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to access.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the Fortress of Meropide. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Ridesley.
Oh. Yeah, what did he do with the guards?
I'm afraid so.
The Vtuber agents.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities. You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
I like how she's like, yeah, let's just partake in idle gossip, and then just gives us a whole lore drop.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
Oh.
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself is still pretending that nothing of that sort ever happened.
Alright then.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Iudex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon, but now, that doesn't seem right to me either.
Right, my theory, and I think I mentioned it in the previous versions, like at the end of the quest, I think it has to do with that species, the Melusine? I was editing one of the previous episodes where we go to the archives with Navia. And, you know, we're asking a bunch of stuff to Neuvillette, and then he tries to kinda show some empathy for Navia. And Navia kinda just vents to him, her feelings, you know, how cold he is and stuff like that. And once we go outside, it starts raining. Now, if you remember, was it Linny, I think, that mentioned that it usually rains in the land of Fontaine because the Hydro Dragon is crying. So I was wondering if maybe it had something to do with that. I don't know if I thought of that at the moment, because right away we segued into the, oh, maybe it was raining, so the body disappeared and all that. But I was thinking, could that have something to do? And Nubilet is the Hydro Dragon. Like, that would make sense, right? Even design-wise, it definitely has a certain, like, dragon, otherworldly aesthetic, I feel. But yeah, that's my working theory so far. How did you come to that conclusion?
I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Udex Nubilet or Farina, neither fits the bill. It's hard to imagine either of them as the Archon.
Well, to be fair, in our experience, every Archon acts very differently.
Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification.
Yeah, sure.
It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice but to save themselves. Ultimately, though,
maybe
one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday.
Probably. Also, Nubilet, hi. I mean, at the time being, we share one similar goal, so I think I would agree. Nubilet?
He certainly returned quickly.
Yeah.
You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
Really? Oh, just leave like that? What's up, Nubilet?
Nubilet? Is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur.
Right.
Thank you for protecting Farina.
May we ask what happened down there?
To put it simply, I used my power to force back the primordial sea and reseal the sluice gate.
Alright. Here's what happened on our side. Recount the happenings of the tea party to Nubilet.
So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm still unsure as to her motives.
Could I ask you some questions?
Permission granted.
You have enough power to force back the primordial sea. Does that mean you have some deeper connection with the Hydro Archon?
It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's just a speculation on our part, though.
Sometimes I like that Paimon just says things straight up. Sometimes I feel like she lacks a little bit of touch, you know? Tact, I think is the right term.
You can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can talk about something else. We won't try to force you.
See, that's why you try to poke around and not...
You guys in Fontaine are super strange.
That's why you try to poke around and not outright ask that, Paimon.
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics.
What did you sense in the Fortress of Meropide? Did you manage to protect those that needed to be defended?
I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering, and now another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
It's coming soon.
Huh? Why is it raining all of a sudden?
Ooh. Clear sky suddenly filled with dark clouds. The rain became heavier, light rain soon grows to a downpour. And just moments before, Nubilet has just mentioned his sense of grief. Wow, they just straight up spelled it out. Thinking back to that legend and what Fremine said. It said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine. Every time it weeps, the skies will cloud up and pour out rain. Nubilet.
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking?
He's a dragon sovereign of water.
The dragon of... what? Huh?
Please do not be so surprised.
I'm not. I'm not. Hi, Farina.
Farina?
That's why I thought he couldn't be the Archon.
Nervalette, are you listening?
Whoa.
My apologies.
Whoa, what was that?
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon sovereign of water, right? Well, if you don't want to confirm or deny...
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
I like how he just straight up says it.
Right, of course. We'll definitely help you keep it a secret. There's still something Paimon wants to ask you, though.
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back the primordial sea from the fortress, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
There might be something to that, right?
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragonhood.
Not even Tivalin?
They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power.
First usurper?
That stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
Oh. What's it called? They have called them a different name, but yeah, the first Descender? Something like that? The ruler of Celestia, I'm assuming, right?
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me.
Oh.
Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Oh,
gotcha.
So even you can't solve it.
So where is the Gnosis then?
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history, you are welcome to discuss them with me at a later time.
I would assume in the Oratrice, right? Because the Oratrice is the one that's able to tell if someone is guilty or not.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the Fortress of Meropide? Paimon is a little worried.
Sure. See you, Nivelet.
We'll see you another time.
Take care.
No, return to the prison to learn more about everyone's situation. Okay. Hello, how are we doing, everyone?
Now guess, what suit will this next card be?
A bare-teeth cat?
Well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Hello, everyone.
The Fremine.
Looks like you're recovering nicely, Fremine.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Thanks to everyone's support. Oh, right. I managed to work up the courage to thank Miss Clarant in person.
Whoa,
nice.
How did she react?
She told me that it was nothing. It was as if saving a life wasn't a big deal to her at all.
Thanks.
She also told me not to worry about it.
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all.
Right.
She's right, and it's best not to dwell on it.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went back to the opera house and we met the knave.
You met Father? Did she say anything to you?
A lot, actually.
She said a few things that were, a bit hard to understand. And also that she's looking forward to working with us in the future.
Yeah, it was a little
Her
surprising.
attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. That's fantastic.
Honestly, this whole quest has kind of felt like a redemption arc for the Vtubers or the image of the Vtubers. It's been kind of nice. We'll see where it goes, but so far so good.
You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help those she considers close, which now might also include you.
Father is very capable and also trustworthy.
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Lenny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on others sometimes.
Got it.
That does sound like something that Father would say.
She did say that, yeah.
Hey!
Are you going to stay
And it
here
is
for
true.
the next few days?
Looks like it, yeah.
Excellent.
For some
I
reason.
will host a tea party.
For real? Then
Oh.
Paimon wants another serving of cake.
Another implies that you were already served some delicious cake while you were up there. How lovely.
Yeah, we were.
Well, next time, you're going to have tea and snacks with us.
Okay, cool. Sounds good to me. Okay, so where should we go next? Not yet to the office, yeah. Let's go... Well, for meals? Okay, yeah, let's go down there. Also, they really should add some rails. I feel like it's pretty easy to fall from those. I always forget your name. Sigewin. Yeah.
Sigewin!
I either forget her name or I forget the pronunciation of her name.
Traveler, Paimon, you're back! Are you still doing alright? Did either of you get hurt?
We're both doing great.
We're fine, but what about
It does
you guys?
seem...
It was such a huge mess. How bad was it?
It does seem like everyone just came back on their own accord.
People sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Monsieur Nervulette paid us a visit. It was all thanks to him that we managed to suppress the crisis for the time being. Of course, we must also thank you for the help you provided.
How did Nervulette know that he was needed here?
Well, Monsieur Nervulette has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level
He
rises,
sure does.
he can feel the waves produced. I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. They were mumbling the whole time about how you just ran down without a word. I'm so relieved to see that you're both alright.
Oh, those two, okay.
If you're not too pressed for time, please stay with us a few more days. Just let me know if you get a craving for any particular dish, so I can have Mr. Walsey get your meals prepared. Oh, and please feel free to visit the infirmary for a break at any... I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time observing your facial muscles as well. Your happy smiles are quite contagious, you know. They're so memorable, and I've missed them immensely while you were gone.
You're very sweet, Sichuan. Oh, this is down here. Oh, is it the Bombshell Bros? I guess. For some reason, the game is really pushing those two, even though we barely hung out with them, but alright. Maybe they will be of importance on the final arc.
You guys are back?
You guys didn't get caught and thrown back down here, right?
No.
Huh? No, not at all.
Ah, and here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legendary jailbreakers, but now you're telling me you just never left?
Didn't need to. Well, we kinda.
We're sorry, but we just had some business to take care of.
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details. We're just relieved to see you. He was super worried about you, you know.
I'd expect them to be more curious, but alright.
It wasn't just me. Weren't you super worried as well?
Something like that, yeah. I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. I can still hear Quisto mumbling to the carrots. Are those two all right? Do you think they made it out alive? Whenever he'd say that, I'd tell him I'm sure they're fine. Wherever they are, they're kicking back with drinks in hand, enjoying the lovely scenery.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worrying about your prison pals. Is there? I mean, considering how they always love listening to all my gossip.
We've talked like once with you guys.
They are a lot warmer and friendlier than when Paimon first met them.
Right. For the welfare meals must have just skyrocketed in quality recently. Your meals will bring all the prisoners to the cafeteria.
Well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to make sure you finish every last bite.
Is that a milkshake? Brings all the boys to the yard thing? I don't know. Let's go see the warden. I actually really like them. I didn't love the writing of that part where they made him seem like a bad guy. Like, that was weird. But the performance was pretty good. Oh, we're going down. I guess this is just now open. Oh, I guess this isn't yet the performance on. Oh, and it's this guy's. Okay.
Jurier, Miss Sishween told me you still haven't eaten.
Yeah, I was working on something, so I forgot.
That's no excuse for... Huh? It's you two.
What up?
Jurier, Lurvine, we're back!
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently. How have you been?
We're fine, thanks.
And you? Are you still taking the secret passageway from the infirmary to work on the ship?
Yep.
That's where
still
they
top
sleep.
secret, though. So don't say a word to anyone.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but I still prefer taking that route over the one from the Duke's office.
I mean, the infirmary does make it easier for you to slack off.
Oh yeah? Then why are you also here so much?
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relationship, aren't you?
Not at all!
What the heck is the deal with these two? There we go, now let's start with the Risley. What up? Are you gonna be the one that we need to ask the questions to?
Did my eyes deceive me, or did I just see two inmates come back after making it to the surface?
That's
Some
us.
strange winds blowing of late.
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing. Is everything still alright?
We're fine, for the most part. Nervulette came down and took care of the worst of it.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to stay here?
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Udex himself to exchange the courts of Fontaine for a puddle of water in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, don't think that's going to work.
He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss Sijween's gift with him, though.
Oh, what did she give him? But also I like that he's probably one of the first characters. Well, I feel like there's been some in the past, but he's the first in a while to respond to Paimon's dumb questions in a very sarcastic tone. Which, you know, I appreciate the variety.
He sure sounds super busy.
Miss Cloran has left as well. She also took her gift from Miss Sigewinne.
Were the gifts milkshakes?
Nervalette got the milkshake. Cloran received lipstick instead.
Those aren't even remotely alike.
Well, it's Nervalette's own fault for making Sigewinne worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fond of picking out beauty products for the ladies. Oh, and I have some gifts here for you as well.
Are these from Sigewinne too?
Nope, they're from yours truly.
Ooh.
You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however, so you may continue to use your cell until your term is up.
For real? Then we could stay here for a really long time?
But still covered?
You may access the cafeteria for free.
Hooray!
What the heck is... Man, this place is still wild.
Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
You got it, sir. Alright, let's go back to rest, I guess. Dang, really? I thought we were almost done. It really felt like we had, you know, our final confrontation and everything, but I guess... I don't know, what is there left to do? We still gotta find Child, but it's not like we see him a lot during the normal gameplay, so we don't have to find him right now. Okie dokie. Let's go back to bed.
We're back in our cell again. We're no longer prisoners though, so it really doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. It's like a huge weight off our shoulders. Feels like we regained our freedom.
Being free sure feels pretty special now.
Paimon, is there something you'd like to say?
Huh? How did you know?
You usually just immediately fall asleep, that's true.
Hey, that's not true!
It's pretty true.
Okay, Paimon just wanted to say that we really are an amazing duo after all. It's like, we've now gone to so many places together and become friends with so many people. We've never stopped traveling or stopped meeting new friends. There are so many bad things in the world, and we're just two people, but we've still been solving problems no matter where we go. Isn't that pretty cool?
That is pretty cool. We're the best adventurers ever.
You're counting Paimon today? Aren't you the only adventurer here?
Being a guide counts too, even though you haven't really been a guide for a while, but...
Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well! Paimon will also be an adventurer from today forward!
Let's go.
Taste our thoughts making Paimon giddy. Paimon's gonna crash, so you sleep soon too. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside our cell. The primordial seawater nearly rose up. That was so scary.
Yeah, who's to say how long do we have until the seal breaks?
We should be safe now, right?
It'll be fine. Don't worry, Paimon.
Alright then. Good night to you, Traveler.
Good night to you, Paimon. Wouldn't it be a little cold? Don't we want to get some... Oop, here we go. Whoa. Did he fall into the chasm thing? The whale! Whoa! And that's the end. Okay. That was really cool. Interesting. I really hope we get to see more of Child. Maybe, maybe Child Act 2. I'm surprised we got you and me Act 2 before Child, honestly. Child is one of the most important characters, I feel, of the story. I'm surprised we haven't seen him in a while. But with that said, that is everything, right? We don't have anything else. Yep. Nope, we are good for now. So with that said, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for coming by, everyone. These last episodes were probably pretty long, so let me know what you thought. We'd like them to be more or less this length. We like shorter episodes. I am honestly down for anything, you know. I will probably just continue recording them in one sitting as I've been doing. And I'm actually, you know, just like they feel free from the prison, I feel free from binging this quest. Because although I really enjoyed it, and you know, the end, usually it is like that with this quest, like the ending is pretty cool. You know, there's always the middle part that has some, not always, but sometimes they really pad it. And, you know, there were times where they were definitely padding this for time. That I personally didn't enjoy as much, but the story as a whole, I very much am happy with, which is the reason why, you know, the padding bothers me so much, because I'm like, let's get to the good stuff, you know? Like, I know there's stuff that is important, right? I'm not talking that everything was padding, but there were times where it just felt like, you know, they were just making time, basically. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do for the third act. That will be probably like a month, half a month, something like that. And we'll have this banner. Oh, actually, it will be more than a month, yeah, because we have this banner, which... Should I do a poll in this banner? You know what, I'll do it 10 times. I don't think I'll get them. I'll just do it 10 times, see what we get. Yeah, let's just see what happens. Yeah, okay. I was scared. So, yeah, I want to save up for Furina. I really like Furina's character. I really want to know more about her. I mean... They usually save it because there's gonna be, obviously this third act, we'll probably learn more about the Archon, and then she's gonna have her own Archon quest. Really? Wow, not even a character? Alright. I mean, I have everyone from here. I think I have everyone on C6 from here too, so... Yeah, it's fine. You know, the RNG had to balance out at one point. With that said, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for coming by, everyone. Hope to see you once the new quest comes out. I'll definitely be ready to record and to post more videos. I mean, we should be caught up on the story by then, so hopefully I'll be able to deliver it at a good time. So yeah, if this is your first time watching and you enjoy them, check out other of my videos. And if you enjoy them, consider subscribing. Well, with that said, thank you so much once again for coming by. Take care, everyone. I'm Aren, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, everyone.